Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys the easiest and simplest way you can go about cutting your female parent. It's a highly requested video. Most people don't know how to go about cutting their parents, which is why I've come up with this video to show you guys the easiest and simplest way you can go about cutting your parents. So if you're a beginner or you've been in the business and you don't know how to go about cutting your parents, please do wait to pay attention to this video to the end. Alright, so without further ado, let's go right into the video. So this vertical line here is more like a template for us. So this is where we're going to be taking all our measurements, and this top of the paper here is going to serve as our waistline. It's a baseline for us. Alright, so we're going to be taking all of our vertical measurement from the waistline down. The first line or the first measurement I'm going to take is my hip, and I'm going to subtract 1.5 inches from the measurement because this pant is going to have 1.5 inches band. So observing that 1.5 inches, I'm going to come down to mark my hip point, which is 9. So I'm going to mark it right here, and still observing that 1.5 inches, I'm going to come down to mark my crotch line, which is 11. So this is how to mark your crotch line. You sit on a flat surface and then you take your measurements from your waist down, okay, like you see on the picture. So I'll just go ahead and rule the line across. So the next line I'm going to mark is my thigh line, and this is how to get your thigh line. From your crotch line you come down by 3 inches or 4 inches. Alright, so from my crotch line I'm going to come down by 3 inches down. I'm going to mark it right here, which is going to serve as my thigh line. Then I'll rule the line across. Okay, so the next line I'm going to take is my knee line. See, observing that 1.5 inches, I'm going to come down to mark my hip line. So I've already marked it. I'll just rule the line across. Okay, so this is my knee line. And then the next measurement is the length of my parent. So still observing that 1.5 inch, I'm going to come down to mark the length of my parent, which is going to be my ankle line as well. So this is the length. This is how long I want my parents to be. So I'll just rule the line across. Alright, and this is my ankle line as well. Okay, so these are all the measurements we need. So I'll just go ahead and indicate on all the lines. This is my hip line, my crotch line, my thigh line, my knee line, and then the length of my pant, which is my ankle line as well. Alright, okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and impute my measurements. Okay, the first measurement I'm going to take here is to divide my hip by 4. So my hip is 36 divided by 4 is 9 inches. So I'm going to mark the 9 inches on the hip line. I'm going to mark the 9 inches on the hip line, and then I'm going to add 1 inch for ease. So I'm going to mark what I have on the hip line on the crotch line as well. And what I have on the hip line, I'm also going to mark it on the waistline. I hope you are following though. Then I will connect the 3 points with a straight line. Okay, so to get my crotch curve, what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure whatever I have on the hip line. I'm going to measure whatever I have on the hip line, and then I'm going to divide it by 4. Okay, so this is how to get your crotch curve. You divide whatever you have on the hip line by 4. I have about 2.6 2.5, so I'm going to mark it on the crotch line. Then on this center point, this line here, I'm going to come out by 1.5 inch, okay, and then I'll connect the points with my French curve. You connect the line into the hip line like this. So this is our crotch. So the next measurement I'm going to take is my waist. So I'm going to divide my waist by 4. So I'm taking my measurement from this line to my right, okay. So my waist divided by 4 is 6.5. I'm going to mark it right here, and then I'm going to add 1 inch for that. And then another 1 inch for each, okay. Now I'm going to connect that point into the hip line. So we've gotten our waist measurement. And the next thing I'm going to do right here is I'm going to measure my crotch line. I'm going to divide whatever I have there by 2, okay. So you measure your crotch line, whatever you have there, you divide it into 2, and then you are going to mark it on the thigh line. You measure your crotch line, whatever you have there, you divide it into 2, and then you mark it on all the lines. We are trying to get the center of our pants, all right. You mark that point on all the lines. And as well as on the hemline, and then you connect all the points together with a straight line all the way from the waist down to the hem. I hope you are following me though. You measure your crotch line, whatever you have there, you divide it into 2, and then you mark it on all the lines, and then you connect with a straight line, all right. So we are trying to get the center of our pants. So the next thing I'm going to do right here is to impute my thigh measurement. So my thigh is 22 inches divided by 2 is 11 inches. So I'm still going to divide that 11 inches by 2 again. I have about 5.5 inches. So I'm going to place the midpoint on that straight line and then mark 5.5 inch on one side and 5.5 inch on the other side, all right. And then I'll do the same thing to the knee. I'm going to divide my knee by 2 and then divide it by 2 again to get the midpoint. And whatever I have, I'm going to place it on the straight line, mark half and then half on the other side. And I will do the same thing on the hemline, okay. So I think I had about 7 inches. So I'm going to mark 3.5 inch on one side and then 3.5 inch on the other side, okay. Then I'll connect the points together. So this is basically it. You can see the shape of our pants already. It's looking so fine, looking so beautiful, honestly. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do right here is to try to create our fly zipper, okay. So on the waistline, I'm going to come out by 2 inches I'm going to come out by 2 inches. I'm going to come down to take that 2 inches again. So you come down a bit to take that 2 inches again, and then you connect the point with a straight line. You connect the point with a straight line, okay? And then from there, I'm going to use my curve to curve that line into the crotch line like this. So this is our fly zipper, all right? Okay, if it is not straight, you can use your hand to just smoothen it, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do right here is to create a dart, okay? So on that straight line, on the straight line, I'm still going to observe that 1.5 inch band. So I'm going to come down to mark the length of my dart. So I came down by 4, and then remember we added 1 inch for our dart, so I'm going to take half an inch on both sides of that straight line, and then I'm going to connect the points to the 4 inches we went down, okay? So this is our darts. So this is basically it. This is all for the front of our pants. So this is it. I don't know if I'm too fast, but if I am too fast, please do it to just rewatch the video again to just get what I'm saying, okay? All right, I'll just go ahead and cut off the front pattern so we can cut the back pattern, okay? So you can see our pattern, our front pattern looking all beautiful, so nice. See the curve and everything. So on our zipper, I'm going to tear it up a little bit so we can fold it in, so we can use the front pattern to cut the back. So I'll just tear it up a little bit and then fold it in so we can use this pattern to draft the back, okay? You know the back is not having zip, right? So I'm just going to fold it in like this, okay? And then we're going to use this to cut out the back pattern. So I'm just going to place my back pattern here, and then I'm going to place this front pattern on it so we can cut it out. So on the crotch line, I'm going to come out by 2 inches. On the crotch line, I'm going to come out by 2 inches here. And I'm going to come out by 2 inches here as well. And then I'm going to measure from that center line like this to the edge of the paper. Whatever I have there, I'm going to divide it into 2, okay? You see what I just did now? From that center line of our dart, I'm going to come out, measure whatever I have there, and then divide it into 2. So I'm going to mark it on the waistline here, okay? After you divide it into 2, you mark it on the waistline, and then you come up by 2 inches. On that point, I went out by 2 inches. and then I'm going to connect these points, all these points together. We are trying to form the back crotch. Okay, so I'm going to connect all these points together to get the back crotch. So I've gone ahead to like rule the line out. So the next thing I'm going to do right here, I'm going to measure the waist line, whatever I have there. I'm going to measure it, whatever I have on the waist, on the front waist. Okay, on the front pattern, I'm going to measure the waist, whatever I have there. I'm going to measure it from that point and then mark it on the back pattern. Make sure the line is aligned with the front. Okay, and then I'm going to connect it in a slant form to meet that point I marked on the back pattern. I'm going to connect it to meet that point. Okay, and then I'm going to add 1 inch to all my measurements. Okay, I'm going to add 1 inch to all my measurements, all the way from the top to the length of the paper, and I'm also going to add 1 inch here as well, all the way down. And then I'll connect the point together. So this is our back pattern. We are done with it. I'm going to remove the pin and then cut it out. Guys, this is very, very simple. Please just do it to pay attention to whatever I'm doing in this video, and I'm very sure the next time you try this on your fabric, it's going to come out just fine. Okay, so this is the back pattern. The next thing we're going to do right here is to create our dart. Okay, so see, I'm going to mark my nipple to nipple, divide by 2, and then mark it on the waistline. See, observing that 1.5 inch for our band, I'm going to come down to mark the length of my dart. Okay, and then I'll connect the 2 points together. And then take half an inch on both sides of the line. And then connect the points to that straight line. So this is all for our back pattern. Really simple, right? Very, very simple. This is the simplest way you can go about cutting your pant, trust me. Please, if I don't know if I'm really fast with this video, but if I'm fast, just do it to just rewatch again. I'm very sure after you watch and watch again, you will definitely get what I'm doing. Okay, so this is all for our pants. Very, very simple. Thank you so much for staying tuned. And please, before you go, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do where to hit on the subscribe button, and most importantly, turn on the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I drop new video. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.